Thank you very much. Distinguished guests, I'm delighted to be here at this Innovation Summit. I might be about to disappoint you in that I'm not going to be making the speech, but the reason I'm not making the speech is we've got someone much, much better to make the speech. The next speaker is Kumar Iyer, who is an economist by training, has worked in the private sector and academia, but now is working in the British Civil Service, where he's worked in number 10 Downing Street, so in the Prime Minister's office. He's worked as a trade commissioner to India, and most recently, he's taken on the role of Director General with responsibility for economics, science, and technology. And so Kumar is visiting Nigeria to get an understanding of technology, and particularly of Nigeria's approach to AI. And today, he's going to be talking a bit about this. So Kumar Iyer, please.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. It sounds like it's working. Hi, everyone. It's a real pleasure to be here today. As the Deputy High Commissioner said, this visit for me is about really understanding the technology and in particular the AI ecosystem here in Nigeria. And today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the AI, how we see the scope for AI partnership here with Nigeria. And I also wanted to talk to you a little bit about managing some of the risks. One of the things I don't need to talk to this room about is the scope and potential of AI. I think we've had plenty of hype around that. I think some of that hype is well-founded. And I think in a room full of entrepreneurs, we will be acutely aware of the potential to close the gap in education, in life sciences, in agriculture. There's a huge range of opportunities that are out there. I think it's very much our view that we will see a paradigm shift globally in terms of how this technology is used. But rather than talk about just that, I want to talk about two things. One, how do we manage some of the risks that arise from AI? And two, how do we as partners across the world, how do we make sure that we use the benefits of AI to reduce inequalities globally and not accentuate them? Because we can see that without considered effort, actually one of the things that AI might do is accentuate those inequalities. So let me start with the first. In many ways, AI has been around for quite a long time. Those of you who will remember the talks of driverless cars, that's been around for a long time. Predictive texting on your phone is an AI bot that helps do the predictive texting for you. It's been around for a long time. What's really happened as of late is generative AI and large language models have taken a real leap forward. And one of the things that we're looking at in the UK is how do we manage some of the risks around that? So let me say the first thing that we're not doing. We're not setting up a large regulatory body just for the UK on sector-specific risks. If you look at the risks to the car industry, you look at the risks in healthcare, you look at the risks in transport, actually those risks are best managed by the regulators in those industries. And so we would advise governments around the world, and we'd advise partners around the world not to jump too quickly to regulation. After all, I'm talking to a room full of entrepreneurs. I think steady and measured regulation is the right way forward. It's definitely the way that the UK is adopting in our own approach. We want to work with the entrepreneurs and then develop rules slowly. A good example is driverless cars. In the UK, we now have driverless cars on the street. We didn't create a new regulator. We didn't jump to new rules. We developed it slowly over a period of 5, 6, 7 years. And now we have driverless cars that meet certain safety standards on our roads. So that's one category of risk. But there's also another category of risk, which is the threats that will essentially come from non-state actors. And what do I mean? I mean criminals, and I mean sometimes terrorists. AI does increase and improve their capability to do things we don't want them to do. Sometimes that's capabilities around making particular weapons. Sometimes it's disinformation. Sometimes it's around cyber threats. And one of the things we do think as the UK is the only way to tackle those sorts of problems is through global cooperation. Unfortunately, no country has the monopoly on bad people. All of our countries have people who want to do bad things. And they do bad things across borders. So the AI summit that the UK is convening in November, the 1st and 2nd of November, the AI Safety Summit, which is the first of its kind, will look at international cooperation on those sorts of risks and those sorts of threats. And we see that as really important in the way that we work with our partners. And we also think it's really important not to confuse those sorts of risks with the risks that arise from innovation. That is a totally different set of category, and regulating and trying to monitor one doesn't mean automatically that you need to do the other. And this is an area where the UK, and especially in the generative AI field, alongside probably the US and China, two dominant markets, but Google DeepMind, for example, is based out of the UK. The UK is very much a leader in this field. It's about 7-8% of our GDP, and the UK is the largest technology center in Europe. And with that, what we hope to do is bring together partners across the world to start to tackle those challenges and give people the confidence to invest in companies, to develop new AI solutions with confidence. Because without that, people will be scared potentially of things that they shouldn't be, or even be not scared of things that they probably should be concerned about. So to strike that balance is very much what we're hoping to do come November. Let me speak briefly about the second point, which is around making sure that AI is used to close inequalities across the world. But sometimes these are inequalities between developed countries and the global south. Sometimes these are inequalities in gender. We know that if we train AI models on biased data sets that are based on male health, we know that women get misdiagnosed by those AI systems. So how can we work together on that agenda? And this is an area where we're really keen to partner with Nigeria. And there are three areas in particular that we're looking at, and we think this is really consistent with the AI strategy that Minister Jonny published recently, which is an excellent roadmap for, I think, the future here in Nigeria. So those three areas, let me take the first of those. The first is where everything begins. This is skills and capabilities. And one of the things that the UK government has been doing for a long period of time, working with the Nigerian government, is the Digital Access Program. Now, that's direct training for tens of thousands of people and a broader network of hubs that reaches hundreds of thousands of people. And this is something that we will be continuing. We'll be continuing it. We've guaranteed the funding until 2025, and we're going to be looking at how we can do more as well. Because the more you, as entrepreneurs, have data literate and digitally literate customers, the more the market grows. The more that you, as entrepreneurs, have data literate and digitally literate workers, the more your companies can grow. And we want to make sure that the dividend that will come from AI is something that everyone is able to benefit from, and it's an area that we'll be working on. The second is something that sits at the bottom of all AI models. At the end of the day, AI models need good data. And the reality is the richness of the data sets needed to develop answers and solutions that are specific to Nigeria, that are specific to the African subcontinent, are not as mature as they need to be. And so one of the areas that we will be working on is specifically looking at AI and saying, how can we improve those data sets in education? Those data sets in healthcare, or agricultural diseases that are unique to Nigeria, and data that we would want to make publicly available, and that you as businesses would build your apps and your models off for your markets. That's the second area. And my third and final area that we would be wanting to work with you on is the area I mentioned at the beginning, which is around AI safety, and in particular the security risks from frontier models. Finding a solution to that is not something that one country can do. It's something we're going to have to work with partners across the world. And in that journey, we see Nigeria as a key ally. And it's something that I hope over the coming years, we are able to work with you a lot more on. I hope that is helpful in providing you all with an overview of at least where the UK government is coming from, how we're looking to partner with Nigeria on this journey. But do not underestimate the importance of what all of you are doing. Do not underestimate the importance of technology in the leaps forward that Nigeria is making. Technology is already somewhere between 16 to 19% of Nigeria's GDP. And as you continue to grow and invest, and you may sit in this room thinking about how am I making money, but you're not just making money. You are making the whole country and the whole region better, happier, prosperous, and safer. And that's a journey which we very much want to be with you all on. Thank you all very much for your time.